Who can it be? Showing up with Tony T, yes, Ramon SEO. To the double T, be funneling these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning scheme is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported back rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.
And a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott. Welcome to the morning steam for Saturday, January 6th. We get ready for the final week of the NFL season today with a couple of games, important uh, playoff impacting games today that are, well, they're night games for the most part. 4:30 Eastern is the first one. So a little time before that, but we talk about those right off the top. We'll also talk NBA, NHL, college basketball, whatever you guys else you want to talk about. But we got a show planned, at least a couple of hours of games to predict. Hello and thank you for coming in. Uh, Good to see everyone getting ready. Hey, don't forget, I mean, we got the big championship game on Monday night, and well, the FCS championship getting mixed in tomorrow along with the NFL card. And how'd you guys do last night with action in the big NBA card, the NHL, and interesting college basketball slate? I guess maybe the Lakers were kind of the featured talk there as they squandered the game there late and continued to lose. Doesn't look like Darwin Ham can make it out of the weekend the way it feels like. I think he will, but man, it really seems like a doomsday scenario there right now with the Lakers. What happened? Lakers, it's all falling apart here now. So they got their championship. That's probably good enough for them. And let's say hello to some folks before we go over to Tony'sPicks.com and then start the show. I don't was that the headline? I don't know. I'm trying to think of maybe what other games had the headlines for yesterday. Um, Yesterday's card. Um, let's go over see who's here. All right. Good morning, everyone. And take a look. Oh my goodness. Here is getting underway with Gerardo was here first, getting us started. Gerardo, the action's picking up a little bit in international soccer today. I'm watching a couple of games right now. I know someone put some, I think Timmy might have put some plays. I know Timmy was kind enough to get some plays in there from an unnamed source. A couple of those games had already gone off. I watched one of them. I watched Inter beat Verona. I don't know if you guys saw that. Inter winning 2-1. They get the late goal. If you did see it, it's kind of naughty. Guy scored a goal, jumps up, his pants come down. They're spanking him. He was getting a little spanky spank on the, they jump up, they're cheering to the crowd. He was getting his but we had his shorts on, his athletic shorts underneath his regular shorts and come down. But the celebration involved a little. And then Verona, in extra time, gets a chance at a penalty kick and it hits the post. So already some thrills. Also watching some action right now. Monza and Frosinone going at it in the FA Cup action as well. Newcastle on top of Sunderland here. FA Cup action all day. All those games are on ESPN Plus. I know you guys, a lot of you guys get that. So all the FA Cup games. It's basically the championship of England, a huge bracket. Talk about bracketology. Uh, always an interesting format. And basically, when you get down to it, it's a Super Bowl of English football, really, because you don't have a playoff system there. This is the playoff system, the FA Cup. Long before the Premier League, they had the FA Cup, still the major championship. Anybody can win it to a certain extent. Okay, Thomas Bird, hello. Talking about those Pacers totals continuing to roll, right? Pacers have been involved in three of the four highest totals ever just this season. So continuing, and yeah, they rolled last night. We gave you a winner last night in that game with the. Oh no, let's move on. Thomas is here, though, giving out his plays today. We did have some winners yesterday. I'm just teasing. We had the Knicks over the Sixers yesterday as a premium pick. We also had winners here on the show with the Boston Celtics crushing the Utah Jazz. We also had the under in that Knicks and Sixers game. Also gave you the under with the Thunder and the Nets. We gave you the under with the Clippers and Pelicans. Winners on the show gave you the under, Timberwolves and the Rockets. Yesterday, we also had the Orlando Magic as a winner here on the show. We had the Detroit Pistons as well. NBA winners last night. Thank you, Thomas. Art Thompson's here today. I was interested to look at this earlier. Art Thompson says that he's new to betting, and that's funny. Art Thompson has been quite a great contributor so far. So give him some advice, you guys, if you want. Probably one team is too many in a parlay. Well, one more than two teams is too many in a parlay. But for me, I don't like to parlay any of the single plays, right? I mean, for me, the parlays are what I'm doing when, yeah. See, here's Fernando Gerardo talking about it. But so for me, maybe I like to parlay big time favorites. If I just feel like big time favorites are going to roll, I mean, that's a popular square thing to do, but I like to do it. Maybe some big time soccer matches where I got a bunch of $4 or $5 teams, and I'll just take 3, 4, 5 teams in there, and maybe that's it. All right. Thomas is here today. I was most interested, though, in Samuel Sprinkles. So new to but here's the thing with Samuel Sprinkles. Says new, been watching, haven't been able to comment, sounds like to me. But for me, it's very appropriate to have Samuel Sprinkles here because I am a big Sprinkles guy. I like the sprinkled donut mostly, the white frosting with the rainbow sprinkles. It's like that's my donut, even though it's pretty childlike. That's what I like. All right, and also daily best bets with T Money here today. Good to see you again. Appreciate you. Always good to have the T Money here. All right, Chad yesterday keeps it rolling, and we'll hopefully get more from Chad soon, from what I understand. And gamble with the hockey last night. I did gamble, and I was looking to maybe even get involved in the premium there. Didn't we? Had uh, uh, interesting results there, certainly on the ice yesterday. But the big news was the injury to Connor Bedard. So we'll just have to see moving forward what the situation is with Bedard. Chicago already struggling here for the most part. All right. And who else gambles here? Jacoby's here today. All right. T Money giving us, in case maybe T Money can't stick around, says got the Steelers here today. Solo as well. All right, you guys. We're going to start with that NFL action. Let's go to Tony'sPicks.com real quick. Bobby Smith, hello. James Humphrey, hello, James. Appreciate having you here today. Wow. Stepping in. Blake is here today as well. Ray is here. Johnny Walker. All right. Yeah, I know, but we let me see if I got that comment in there. Gamble, if he's talking about that, maybe he's talking about that Carolina game. I mean, we were looking to go over certainly. We ended up on the puck line. Chad did call it. Is that what it is? Okay. All right. Let's go over. I want to go over to Tony'sPicks.com and see who did well on the site yesterday and see who's on top of the handicapper leaderboards. We get ready for more winners. I'm hopefully going to give you some winners here in just a moment. But our best plays are over at Tony'sPicks.com, where Mindy Hahn is on top of the handicapper leaderboards. 75% yesterday for Mindy. OG Cappers VIP goes 3-0 yesterday. Nick Lagaretos 3-1. Gene got picks 3-1. Marlo Pettis, Daniel Walasachuk, Chauncey Giles all won their only play on the medium Friday card. Mark Butterscotch Eubanks there with a 5-4 record. The two old ladies that bet consensus 2-1 record. Ron Crawford 2-1. Ron Hahn 3-2. Collins Brown 4-3. Ruben Marlboro, come to Marlboro country 3-2. Nick Bartini 3-2. Tiffany Mance 5-4. Last 7 days, it's Mindy Hahn on top, plus nearly 16 units. Mark Butterscotch Eubanks up nearly 10 3/4 units. Nick Lagaretos up over 9 2/3 units. Ron Hahn up 9 units, and Danny Dimes up nearly 6 1/4 units last 30 days. Mindy Hahn up 36 units. Tiffany Mance up 34 3/4 units. Nick Vartini up 1861. Mark Eubanks 1844, and Ron Hahn up 1830. New names, but familiar names here on the network. And since the first of the year, it is Mindy Hahn on top here at Tony'sPicks.com, plus 17 units. Nick Lagaretos plus 12 units. Tiffany Mance up 6 1/4 units. Ron Hahn also up there, 619. And the most of the new group, they've been here about a month. We'll leave it at that. And we kind of covered in a little bit in the weekly. We see some of the other great names there, including Ron Crawford, Latifah Collins, the Tony's Picks VIP as well. All right. Appreciate everyone there. Hey, our premium picks are over there, up and ready for the action today, including mine. 3 packs, 5 packs, 7 packs for Saturday. I've got a 5 pack ready to go right now in college basketball with the early action to lead right into the NFL slate. Get this 5 pack for just $25. My 5 best college plays over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, and that's how you get signed up with our professional handicapper at Tony'sPicks.com. Also, today I do have a 7 pack, which includes both football games ready to go up there. Also, my best bet is in the Saturday early NFL game, the $15 best bet. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout on any of these packages and save 20%. Best way to follow me today is probably on the 3-day pass, since I'm going to be firing away in some other college basketball action. All right, let's go back over and see who else has stepped in and see if we can't get ready to start the show, because we got certainly a lot of games. I've only picked 5 college basketball games. It's a huge card. We know that. So if you have some, maybe get ready. But I've just kind of picked some early games because we have the football games today. Most of you focused in on that. But if you have a hot game in there, let me know. And I picked one late game. Let's go to the NFL action for today. We have storylines for sure with today's action. including this big one between the Steelers and the top-seeded Ravens. Coming in, the Steelers in a must-win situation. They will need help if they're going to advance into the postseason. First and foremost, they need to win. They are favored to win in this game after, the Ravens, clinched the number one seed, really number one in the NFL. If you think about it right now, it doesn't even look like these guys could be headed at this point, even against the great 49ers, the way these Ravens are going. But Steelers are favored in this game. They made the switch here to Mason Rudolph, and it seemed to work out. If the Steelers are so great and their coaching is so great, which it is, I'm tongue-in-cheek a little bit, but why did it take time to figure out sometimes what's going on if Mason Rudolph was the best option the whole time? Scored 34 and 30 points in his last two games. He's 7-4-1 in his career as a starter. Pittsburgh, though, this isn't necessarily their best role as a road favorite. Just 4-10 in their last 14 games against the spread as a road favorite. Fortunately, they're going up against the Ravens, and the game means nothing to them. But man, they do have a little bit of revenge. They lost the first meeting, 17-10 at home as a 4.5 point favorite. The underdog. The Ravens were favored by 4.5, of course, at home, and the Steelers won 17-10, took advantage of some turnovers. Steelers have been the better team in the series with the Ravens. They've won 6 of the last 7 games. Pittsburgh has won and covered 5 of their last 6 trips into Baltimore. 5 straight games between these two have gone under the total, but the Ravens are in their best position to a certain extent, at least trend-wise. If you want to throw it all away and just say, hey, doesn't matter, the Steelers have the motivation and the Ravens don't. Just want to add, the Ravens have covered 6 straight games as a home underdog, 6-0. They haven't lost as a home underdog since the pandemic, so it doesn't happen very often, once a year, maybe twice a year. But no doubt the Ravens are kind of in a good role in that situation. The most interesting thing I think about the Ravens and Steelers series is how heavily dominated it is by the underdog. I mean, that's kind of the key when it comes to these two teams. The underdog in the series is 23-5-3. Now, the point spread is 3. It was 3.5. There's really not many 3.5s left. If it does get to 3.5, maybe it will. It feels like it's come back down a little bit, but that 23-5-3 record for the underdog in the series, when it gets to 3.5, becomes 19-2 against the spread for the underdog in this series when getting 3 or more points. That's just in general. That's just pretty much every game that, isn't a, game that's decided by 3 points or less, or a spread that's 3 points or less in those 21 games. Still, nonetheless, a dog with a great record. But like I said, Steelers as a road favorite, not great. Tomlin 15-26 with the Steelers as a road favorite long term. So Huntley has been a fine reserve for Baltimore, despite just a 3-5 record as a starter. He's won here. He's won in the playoffs. And if you do want to chalk up this game, obviously, as a preseason type of game for the Ravens, make no mistake, the Ravens are the greatest preseason team in the history of the NFL, still to this very moment. Maybe they didn't continue their streak recently, but unless the fortunes were to turn, it doesn't seem like it. It just seems like that's the way the Ravens prepare. This team is very, very deep. You can't rest all the starters. I'm going to go with the total in this game. I know I'm passing a lot of feeling about the game, but I'm going to go over in this one. when you have desperate teams, I think it leads to a little bit desperate measures. I think the Steelers will be able to put some points on the board, but at home with Huntley and a good complement of reserves for the Ravens, I think there's a reason why the Ravens are the best team in the NFL right now. And we'll take a look at your comments. I've rambled long enough. Over is my play here on the. Well, let me. Uh, I'm gonna take Baltimore. I'm gonna take Baltimore. Let me dial it back here. I think I gave out all those trends, kind of suggesting Baltimore. So please get my premium play. I think you probably know what it is, but maybe I'll just take Baltimore here as the free play and get the total in there as the premium play because for me, maybe that extra motivation may get the Steelers there now at -3. Not going to necessarily want to lay a hook with the Steelers if that's me, but maybe the money line is your play. Let's take a look here at what you guys got going in the chat. Here's Thomas getting us started with the Steelers today. Ray's going to go with me and take the Ravens. Bobby's going to take the Ravens. Thomas says take the under. Look, the series is a dead under, no doubt about it. But like I said, and here's the one other note. I don't know if you guys, the prime time. This isn't necessarily prime time. This one's at 4:30 Eastern. I see some discussion in there about the weather, and I think we've seen that it will not be quite as treacherous as we were expecting. Still not perfect weather, but I'll get that for you here as we progress here real quick. But let's see here. Over for Thomas. Solo says Steelers on the money line. And Dre, right? One more, Dre. Dre and I have been having an ongoing discussion here about the Ravens over the last 2 days. But if there's one team, the Ravens, who might not have any motivation, and they know they have some players they want to rest, right? Probably want to keep the Steelers out of the playoffs. Not just for them. I think Dre knows it's not about keeping the Steelers out of the playoffs because we don't like them. Yeah, that's part of it. But the Ravens don't want the Steelers into the playoffs because the Steelers can even beat the best Ravens teams. That's proven. There's always going to be that factor where you end up playing the Steelers in the playoffs. And even if the Ravens at home were to host the Steelers, I don't know how it's going to shake down with the seeding if the Steelers were to get in there. And yeah, the Ravens might be it could be a 6-point favorite over the Steelers at home. Maybe be 5.5 because of the rivalry or something like that. I don't know. Could it be bigger? I don't think it would. I think you'd weigh all those factors in, but the Steelers will always have a fighting chance against the Ravens here. If you're the Ravens, probably want to face the Dolphins, as good as the Dolphins have been. You'd rather face those guys again than the Steelers. So Thomas says, how is the weather today? Maybe Dre will clue us in, or maybe he already has, and I just haven't got there yet. But likely precipitation, no doubt about it, with cold temperatures, high 30s. But I'm showing likely precipitation throughout the game. Dre says cold, but I understand maybe the forecast has lightened up a little bit for the Salty saying snow. I don't know, 38 degrees throughout. I don't think that's going to bring the snow, but let's see here. Dre likes the over. All right. Gamble's ready for hockey already. We got a great card. Fernando says the Steelers will do it. Biggie is here today. Bobby Smith, I think he's going over. Is that first half right there? And Trey says it could be snow. It could be snow. Perky is here today. Ready to roll. Perky could have been in there in the you got to see it. I mean, if you're on Twitter right now, I think you could Twitter, you could find that goal earlier in the Italian League game where the goal scorer was getting spanked as a celebration. All right. Thomas says maybe the flurries prefer flurries to wet snow, right? All right. I'm officially on the Ravens as the show pick. I'm taking the Ravens here plus the points at home. I think the Ravens are very, very good, and even in a game where they're not going to, uh, play some starters, you can't sit them all. That's the nature of it. And they have a great, great program, proven with their preseason success. And the Steelers will still be hard pressed just to win the game. They still could win in a thriller. All right, let's move on to the night game now between the Texans and the Colts. And this one basically is a playoff game here. The winner will still need help, but you got to win this one or you're going home here today. And the Texans on the road probably wouldn't been in this situation had they had a healthy CJ Stroud all season here late in the season. All these set of games that he had missed prior to his return. Feels like they could have got one of those. He does seem like a difference maker. If it's a rookie fluke, then so be it. We enjoyed it, CJ, tremendously, and we thought you'd become great. Seems like he'll be pretty great actually here. Texans still, not a maybe not a playoff um, challenging team, if you will, that maybe can get something done, but never know when you got a quarterback like this and getting a little bit healthier with his offense here. The Colts have some pretty big weaknesses defensively, and they're going to be getting into a little bit of a shootout, it feels like, here for me. And I'd rather have CJ Stroud, quite frankly, over Uncle Rico in this one. So we take a look maybe at some of the trends coming into this one. Some of them, will actually heavily favor uh, seeing the Colts here at home. But see what you guys have in this one. Let's get into some of the numbers with these two teams. So the Colts 6-2 straight up, 5-3 against the spread in their last 8 games. The favorites seem to cover these games that the Colts are kind of involved in right now. The Colts are uh, 3-7 against the spread in their last 11 AFC South home games, while the Texans are 7-1 against the spread in their last AFC South road games. So, I think I said favors the Colts, but I meant that it favors Houston in that term. It's just that Houston has not been a very good road favorite. They're 1-7-2 against the spread in their last 10 games as a road favorite. So that doesn't necessarily favor them as much. Now the Colts won back in week 2 in Houston, 31-20, and the Colts have won 6 of the last 8 games in the series with one tie. However, the Texans have often covered the spread here, 5-3 against the spread in their last 8 trips to Indianapolis. The series has gone under in 5 of their last 7 meetings. I see a high score, I would think, here. It feels like to me, with the Colts and that poor defense against a Houston offense that certainly, I think, can get it back together. Stroud is back. I don't think he's a fluke or anything like that. Here comes some comments. Samuel Sprinkles wants the Texans in this one. I agree. If Samuel Sprinkles is here on Texas today, first time we've talked, maybe Samuel might have popped in once, but no, I think not. Solo does say go under, though, that it is a high total. No doubt about it. Maybe that's a little bit of, I don't know, is it moved up for the fact that you have Stroud back? Both teams are desperate. Just seems like that happens a little bit, but the Colts have been getting, outgained big time of late. Man, they've been giving up. They give up some pretty big yards. I'll tell you another thing. They are bad on the last game of the season too, in their history. It's funny how we've ended up with in the new schedule with the 17 game schedule, right? And this was supposed to be the big, when we get to the 17 game schedule, the week 18, we're going to have to, and there are plenty of things to be decided, but half the games we've ended up with basically preseason games for some of these teams. All right, here we go with some more. Here's Texans money line and over, I believe that is. Here's Thomas with the Texans and the under. Dre's got his plays in here. Fernando, is he going to go with Houston? Thomas, the Texans are clicking. Yeah, they are. They definitely are. Colts have played well. I mean, remember, you're dealing with a team here that has, a coach of the year candidate. Remember what I said, though, about we're arguing about all these, we're pulling tail feathers over these coaches that are basically barely over 500 fighting to get in the playoffs. Yeah, Campbell, I get it. He probably wins. Stefanski, great job here with you with that team, but let's look at in credit to Steichen here and to D'Amico Ryans as well. Two good coaches, but Harbaugh's the guy for me. I mean, geez. R. Tom says Texans over. And Jacoby saying go over. All right, Gamble here says, here's the thing about Gamble, really trying to follow one play a day method, not every day. You'd almost have to go, you'd have to win at a huge rate, really, unless you're playing a high amount. But I appreciate it very much what you're saying. Okay, Texans first half here, Jacoby on the over. All right. Give me this one. The Texans on the road over the Colts in a shootout. All right, that's a look at the NFL. We'll get over to NBA basketball now. Enjoy these Saturday NFL games. There are 4 games in the NBA tonight. Me and Johnny, right? The thing is, I mean, you're still the one play, and I don't want Gamble or anybody else to go away from if one play a day, if you're using it to have a little bit of extra income, have some fun, that's great. We want you to be cautious, right? Is that what we say in betting? We don't want anybody going off the deep end, but technically, even if you're playing one play a day, and you're a great capper, you're still going to hit the kind of the same percentage. You're probably going to, even elite 60%, right? So it still takes you a long time, but maybe if you could have a higher percentage doing one game a day because you really can focus in on that game, but you'd be a star too if you did. I promise you that. If you could come in and go somewhere and did one play a day and hit like 75%, be a huge star in the handicapping by my experience. Okay, here we go. I was just biding some time here to get the NBA going. 4 games today in the NBA with those Indiana Pacers. They set a team record last night with 50 assists. Man, they pass the ball unlike any other. That's interesting about them, right? That they have a guy like Halliburton kind of set with this record-setting assist numbers that he's able to get that is making him the elite player that he's evolving into be, an elite assist man that I don't know, man. He's young enough, and his attitude for doling out assists could put him among the all-time greats if he has a real career. This doesn't look like a fluke with this guy, and it's not like he has. I mean, he's kind of a guy who can fill it up a little bit too. And does he really have even a real true scorer around him. This guy does it all. Halliburton, man, what a player. And the Pacers, of course, with the game last night, doing a pretty good job, certainly against uh, the Hawks and that smashing victory that went well well over once again. For Indiana, they are 5-0 in their last 5 games, but the Boston Celtics come in here with the winning streak of their own right now, or winning surge, if you will, of their own right now, having gone 7-1 straight up in their last 8 games. So, two hot teams, no doubt about it right now. One expected to be one of the best teams in the league, and one that is becoming one of the best teams in the league. Boston has gone over in 5 straight games currently on the road. Well, you guys are coming in with some of your comments already on this one. I think it did, Dre. Let me see. Did it? Trying to. It was one. I thought it was like 150 to 110 is what it felt like yesterday. Maybe I get the final here. Thomas says over. I will say this, that the widely reported steam has already kind of come in on this one, on the under. This one opened at 247, or no, 245 and a half. So it has actually gone up. 245 and a half at Bet Online, up to 247 and a half now, 245 and a half at DraftKings. I thought I actually saw a little bit of pullback here in this one. Maybe it's just because I was leaning towards the under here today. But you guys, I know we're going to want to go over. Everyone's want to goes over in these Pacers games right now, and why wouldn't you? Right now, the Pacers talk about it every time. I don't know if I should keep mentioning it or not, but the Pacers have gone over in 14 of their 18 home games this season. We just saw Monza now a 2-0 lead over Frosinone here. Yeah, I mean, these guys are just massive on this one, right? Last night was 150 to 118. Oh, it snuck over the 262 by going to 266. So you see what they kind of keep doing here a little bit. As they continue to jack up this total. Now, I guess the perception would be that Boston will play a little bit better defense on them. They're favored. Here's Solo on the under. Fernando's on the over. And Chad here likes Boston to crush them here, it sounds like. After Indiana won the last matchup at home here, 122 to 112. But as the Milwaukee Bucks found out, and the Bucks, we heard some, comments from the Bucks about the kind of dominance right now that Indiana has put over on them. Beasley was just saying, hey, when it comes down to it, they just have our numbers. Certain teams have your number, and we're still trying to figure it out because we're going to play them in the playoffs, and it's not going to be pretty. But he meant it's not going to be pretty for them. He meant they will figure it out. But right now, I wonder if they will. All right. Yeah, and Boston won the first meeting 155 to 104 in Boston. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab the under here in this one as my play. I do think it will be. I think Boston does change things up a little bit for the matchup here. Yeah, and right, all the criticism for Boston, right? It just seems really, idle criticism. It's hard to really criticize this team. We want to portray them as, maybe a little bit soft in the key moment, but they keep growing. They keep getting there, and then now with maybe overshadowed a little bit by what Philly has done a little bit, but hey, Boston right now is certainly on a big role here. Yeah, they lost at OKC, but OKC's proven to be pretty decent club right now. Pacers on fire, no doubt, winning and covering here at this point. No slowing down right now. This seems like to be the Pacers that we can expect. I don't think they'll be compare them to the Lakers, right? Compare that game. Uh, uh, and you look now at where the Lakers are and how down they've become, and the Pacers, where they are currently, been on fire basically out of that tournament. So, all right. Still looking at those totals though. You got Boston. They've been going over as well, 7 of the last 10. I'm going to take under though. I'm going to say Boston changes the dynamic here in this one. I also think the Pacers could get the money, but I'm just not sure. Here's welcome to Fume today. Great to have you. Wow. Fume. Awesome. Great. Thank you for commenting. All right. The Knicks are going to take on the Wizards in this one. A great performance by Jalen Brunson and the Knicks to keep this rolling right now. Look, trade can work out for both teams, and the Knicks it certainly has so far here. And they're taking on the Wizards, a team that they've pretty much been dominated. They've won and covered 5 straight meetings here with the Wizards, including twice already this season. They won here uh, 120. This is on the road. They've won and covered 5 straight because the Knicks won here 120-99 back in November as a 7-point favorite. There was the Wizards that did beat the Knicks at the Garden 131-108 back in October. In an upset, certainly a 7-point favorite were the Knicks on that night. Early in the season, we didn't know the Wizards were going to be this bad, but they did win that one on the early in the season. Total has gone under in 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams, including 4 of the last 5 meetings here in Washington. Just a good performance, I thought, in the game by the Knicks against the Sixers. We did have the Knicks as a premium pick. They led that one throughout, and they kind of even pulled away in the end. We gave out the total under here on the show yesterday. So the Knicks, if they look to improve their defense, at least at this point, uh, success, I would think is what I would say. Overall, general a success so far. I'm not sure on the side here in this one. I'm going to take the under, of course. The Knicks should be able to slow the Wizards down dramatically. I would think Wizards, yeah, they've gone over a little bit. Not 8-6 to the over at home. Knicks 12-9 to the over on the road, but the Knicks are definitely starting to go under here now. Of late, they've gone under in 3 straight, all victories, all covers for the Knicks right now. And Thomas here likes Randall's matchup in this one. Chad says the Knicks are going to market will catch up, but they're looking pretty good right now. Dre in there as well. Kind of the same thing. Thomas, though, maybe over. Fernando says Knickerbocker, please. I think Fernando suggesting the under here with me in this one. All right. And Chad likes the Knicks to keep on the pressure here. Fume says take the Knicks. It's about as high of a spread as I could possibly tolerate here. I'm just not sure. Hey, I'd like to say hello to Richie Vegas here today. Nice to have you, Richie. He's on the west side. Is he on the west side of Vegas here? Appreciate you. I was just over there the other night at the ballpark. All right. Nick's for Lewis Gibson here. Gibson Lewis. I want to say it correctly. Gibson. Maybe you have it that way on purpose. I'll say Gibson Lewis joining us on Twitter. Remember, you can comment here on Twitter uh, also, and I'll see your comments now. All right. Appreciate you very much, Richie, for joining in today. All right. Appreciate the comments, guys. You guys are on fire today, man. The comments are the most important thing about this show, is what I feel like. So we want to say all of your comments on there. So, oh yeah, don't forget. I definitely should make a point. If you, Richie, I'm here every day at 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Pacific. Uh, right here in Vegas. Get up early, as I like to be on early on the East Coast. So, but yeah, Fume, I want to make a point of that yesterday. So, Wizards got blown out certainly by the Cavs. A strong defensive performance by the Cavs, right? Holding the Wizards basically really knocked them down big time. And Chad said it right there. So, anyways, yeah, go ahead and I'll take the under in this one. But yeah, the Knicks will have to win by double digits on the road. They could, they should. Let me take the under. All right. Let's continue on right now with the Jazz. Going to take on the Sixers today. Look, we were on the Celtics last night against the Jazz, but I'm not necessarily ready to get off the Jazz just yet. Maybe these games just aren't perfect for the Jazz, a perfect matchup or anything. Look, Celtics have been covering big numbers. The Sixers have really been covering big numbers here, and both teams are on a back-to-back. Obviously, the just talked about the Knicks win over the Sixers last night, and the Jazz having to come in here. But the Jazz were playing well. They're really one of the hottest teams uh, in the league, spread wise, and straight up as well. The Jazz were playing some hot ball. Really kind of being overlooked for the most part. They had a 3-game winning streak before that loss last night. Utah's covered 4 of their last 5 games on the road. They've also gone under in 4 of their last 5 games on the road. Philly's done well in this series. However, they've won and covered 5 of the last 6 years, 6 trips anyway, that Utah has made into Philadelphia. So it hasn't been the best situation necessarily for Boston here. I'm sorry, for Utah here coming into Philly. And let's see what you guys got here. Samuel says, you know what? Yeah, these games are maybe not the best. A good thing we have football tonight, is what it feels like. Dre says, Philly will beat them down. Thomas, no. Philadelphia does blow people away. That's what we're focusing. I know what you're saying. I mean, maybe they've had some slip ups against us. When they win, they cover. And remember, they are 13-5 against the spread at home. Also 19-6 against the spread as a favorite. So they like to win. They cover. That's just the thing right now about this. Now, it feels like maybe it'll start to come back a little bit. We certainly, got to monitor the injury situations, but everything seems pretty clear. If anything, Philadelphia does have several players questionable here. You know, uh, Players who do make an impact. You got Harris questionable. You got Bob Cub questionable. Korkmaz questionable. Melton questionable. So the injuries there, Utah really comes in quite healthy here for the most part. Man, the Sixers, they love to cover. And Utah, like I said, it's not the best spot for that. Proven a little bit not to be the best situation for them. Coming into this one. So I've got myself on another under here, I would think, with these two teams. The reported steam came in on the over. But to me, Utah, yeah, they kind of solos on the over here. You see it right there. And yesterday, the game stayed under, though. I believe the Utah Boston game did stay under. The Sixers game also went under. Ooh, big move there on St. John's all of a sudden. There's big time steam rolling in here. I think you guys might hear some of it. And what we'll do is kind of put some of it into the Discord. So join me in there. Roll out a bunch of steam at least to get you into college basketball today if you need something. Maybe we can come in with some extra plays in there. All right. See some of your comments here. Hey, Lazzy Love here today. Okay, nothing else here necessarily with this one. Fernando's is going to find a way. Fernando and I kind of think alike, find your way to the Jazz. I want to. Will I get there? I don't know. All right. Let's see here if I got any more on this game, or we're going to move on. Okay. We got to make it even greater, Perky. We need more information. Richie coming up with college hoops. I've got 5 games I'm looking at in just a moment, right after the NBA here. All right, let's continue on with the last game of the day between the Bucks here and the Rockets. A great game, actually, if you think about it, how well the Rockets have been performing currently this season. They are coming off of a loss, though, yesterday, no doubt about it. An under, by the way, that we gave out here on the show against the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves continue, despite a few slip-ups, to prove that they are also not necessarily going away or going anywhere here, but they were able to knock off Houston last night. For the Bucks, they come in here having won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over, including Houston has gone over in 4 of their last 5 games at home. The widely reported steam, though, has come in here on the under in this game, although this one opened as high as 240 and is now 238. And the game is up to 6.5 or maybe even 7 in some spots. Doesn't feel real comfortable to me, does it? I mean, the Bucks aren't really that impressive of a team to go in and beat a strong defensive team like Houston at home, but we'll see. We'll see on that. I think I'm probably just going to end up on another under here. Let's see what you got. I don't know, actually. You guys have anything yet in this one with the Bucks? Because the Bucks are coming in. They were able to win against the Spurs the other night. They did not cover, though. Remember, they won just 125 to 121 as they pulled it off late. Wembanyama hit a big 3-pointer to tie the game, but the Spurs made a couple of buckets in the final moments. Before that, the Bucks lost those 2 games against Indiana. They also have impressive wins over good teams before that, before the first of the year, on the road at Cleveland, on the road at Brooklyn. So they continue to perform well. But like I said, did not get the money against the Spurs. Yeah, first meeting was Milwaukee, 128-119. The Bucks won at home. They got the money. All right. Let's see what you guys anything here. Oh, here's Thomas Bird with his comment. He says Houston will keep it close, try to keep the ball out of Giannis's hands. Yeah, you know what? I do like what you're saying there. Oh man. All right. Well, to me, it just seems like a lot of points for the Bucks to continue to lay these points on the road. I know the Sharps are kind of going to be on the Bucks here, but I'm going to have to take the Rockets plus the points at home. They used to call this the old Texas trap. You'd play the three teams down in Texas back to back to back, not on consecutive days, but you go down there and things get the nights get a little long. Hey, Rob Reederer is here today. I want to say hello and welcome to Rob Reederer, talking about the Rockets at home, being money. Great to have Rob. Looks like he knows what our show is all about. Maybe got finally a chance to comment here. Awesome.
System playing.
And Richie says, look at this. Line should be no more than 4. I mean, come on. That's what he says. Yeah, especially for a basketball player, Samuel, right? Anyways, yeah, talking about the success that the Rockets have had at home. Rob, thank you very much for your comment. 13-6-1 at home, by the way, for the Rockets. So, hello to Jason. Thank you. All right, give me the Rockets today, and that's a look at the NBA. You guys are already asking about some college basketball. Look, I picked early games. Doesn't do much for the shelf life of the show, but again, I think everybody be really involved in the NFL games going on, and maybe the best games of the day are the early national televised window here, feels like, for the most part. So let's get into a couple of games anyway. And if you've got some picks, I've got my numbers already. And thanks, Rob. I actually want to say it again. I kind of tailed off there at the end, but I know that people you meet or see your name. I'm a journalist. I can read names pretty well. Rob Reederer. I'll sing your name for joining me on the show. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you very much. All right. Let's talk about these early college games. Just the ones that I've selected here. Like I said, I also have a 5-pack premium picks today if you're interested here, but I've got some nice ball games as well and closely rated, including this one. How about Clemson at home here against the Heels to get us started? And look, Clemson's a favorite against North Carolina. That should say something right there. Getting into this one, I'm going to be on Clemson. For me, Clemson has won 5 straight games at home right now. I know Carolina loves to play Clemson. I mean, they've won 21 of the last 24 meetings, but Clemson comes in here 11-2 right now. Nothing wrong with their schedule. I don't think it's any. Well, I don't want to go off target there. I didn't look up the actual strength of schedule. Carolina's starting off pretty hot here. 3 in a row right now after losses to Connecticut and to Kentucky out of conference, but they've come back here with a win in the ACC over Pittsburgh. They beat up on Charleston Southern, and they beat Oklahoma, remember, by 12 points. It's a 4-point favorite. So nothing wrong with the Heels, but Clemson certainly still looking pretty good. They're perfect at home so far, 6-0. This is just Carolina's second true road game after that first road game. Impressive was Carolina with Baycott looking pretty strong in the game, but still Clemson feels like to be as a pretty good club. Maybe this one should be close. Clemson's coming off a loss to Miami, no doubt about it. No, can look to bounce back here. They lost on the road, 95-82. They really didn't play very well in that game. It was their second loss of the year. They also lost to Memphis, but they have home wins over Pittsburgh, 79-70. They're 1-1 in conference so far. They've also beat Alabama at home. They beat Boise at home, it's a top 60. They beat South Carolina at home, a top 60. They beat TCU, a top 35 team. So I'm going to end up taking Clemson here. Carolina won the meeting last year, 91-71 at home. But give me Clemson here in this one today. And me see if I had anything on the total. 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Did I say that already? I don't want to waste your guys' time, but I didn't recall if I had said that. So give me Clemson here. I like them pretty strong today against Carolina. How about you guys here? All right. Yeah, Richie, how about that Purdue game last night? They got into a little bit of a battle there with Illinois, talking about it there. Thomas is on Clemson. Mike is on North Carolina today. Perky, you'll be okay. I want you to actually remember we're in Tony's chat, Perky. Okay, Richie, North Carolina here, plus a point or two, it looks like. Let me check the spread. Might be a good idea here. Make sure it hasn't been. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. Clemson's up to a 3-point favorite now. So let me at least. One thing I always do, I said, is give me the worst of the line. So you guys have it a little better if you get to the window and it's a little bit different line. And I will lay 3 points, obviously, with Clemson. Typed in these lines probably about for them a couple hours, 3 hours ago now. Got up for today's show at about 3:30. Felt pretty excited about the card and the day. All right, give me Clemson to look interest. Oh, wait a minute. Where's my new graphic? There we go. Interesting to note. Appreciate you guys that are. It looks like some Carolina support in the chat. Clemson is obviously taking the action here today, at least from a bookmaker's perspective, continuing to move that line higher. And looks like, yeah, Perky, remember Miami, they really did beat up on Clemson, no doubt about it. But we're back at Little John. So I'm going to take the Tigers. I'm on some home teams here. Look out, you guys. I don't know. I'm a home team, college basketball, conference play, close game type of guy like this one here with Kentucky and Florida. I could just give out Florida right now and let you know I'm on Florida and just go from there, I guess. But Kentucky has won the last 5 games here in Gainesville. Kentucky wins every time they come down here to Florida, but I'm taking Florida today. Florida has won 5 straight games at home. They seem to click offensively, certainly at home. I don't think Kentucky's going to be necessarily focused in on anything defensively here with a total at 169. In fact, it's dipped a little bit. And Florida, of course, is a 3-point favorite now. Who am I kidding? Nothing I can do about it, and I'm going to stick with these favorites. I'm not going to sway me here. You hear my confidence already in some of these home teams today, and maybe you guys will stick with the blue blood again here, especially with Kentucky having won the last 4 meetings straight in the series. I mentioned their dominance here in Gainesville. They won last year here 82-74. They also won the meeting in Lexington 72-67 UK. Covered them both last season. So good on UK, but I've got the Gators here. 13 Florida, like I said, Florida's been a big time over team, especially at home. They're already 8-2 to the over at home this season. UK is 9-3 to the over overall. So these two teams are combined 18-7 to the over thus far this season. And this total, like I said, 168.5, pretty high. Certainly, I'm not necessarily ready to get on the over, quite frankly, and may take a little bit further to get me there. But I'm going to take Florida in this one. Just Florida. I don't want to give out the a double, especially on a game where probably the public's going to like the over. I don't want to challenge you guys. Richie, I'm here for 2 hours every day, pretty much, even longer sometimes. And all right. Mike was on Clemson there. Rob likes Florida with me today. Appreciate that. Want to say, William is here today. He says, hello from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you, William. All right. Thomas says he was all. You guys all got a better Florida for me. Florida's going to be doing it. Perky's coming in with Florida. Mike's at Kentucky in the over. All right, give me Florida in this one. The Arkansas Razorbacks going to take on the Auburn Tiger. Oh, I think, do I have this one backwards actually? I've got some new viewers here. I rarely, you guys can, maybe my friends in the chat can vouch for me. Ramon's pretty good on the graphics, but I believe he's got this one wrong. Auburn is at Arkansas. No problem. We can fix that. Auburn's now 2.5, 157 for the most part. And that's one thing we take a pride in here is accurate lines, or, I'm not tied into some hot system like Tony's got, like that thing. I don't think I could even work it. But here you have Auburn on the road, a 2.5 point. Good. I mean, that's how I wanted it to be in the first place. I didn't want to, because, I'm going to be on a dog here, I'm sure, with Arkansas at home. More home teams. Home teams in January type of angle here for me with Arkansas. It hasn't been great, actually, for Arkansas so far. I imagine Auburn's probably going to be the public side. They've covered 8 of the last 11 trips here into Arkansas. 10 of the last 11 games at home for Arkansas have gone over the total this season. 10 of 11 games at home have gone over. Arkansas has also won their last 5 home games in a row. They're on a 3-game winning streak with wins over Wilmington, Abilene Christian, and Lipscomb. Before that, though, they lost to Oklahoma by 9 points as a 3.5-point dog. So Auburn comes in certainly a little bit better against the spread right now. They've covered 6 of their last 10, while Auburn is just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. The total's gone over in 6 of the last 7 games between these two teams here at Arkansas. And Mike is going to be on the under. There it is. That's the play. It feels like from the chat. Let me see if I can react to that at least as far as your play on the total is concerned, because I'm on Arkansas. Make no mistake. I can't get with you on the total. I'm not sure. I'm not going against you. I'm not going with you. Just going to take the points with the Hogs here in this one. Auburn certainly on a roll right now, on a winning streak, and they're coming off wins over Penn. They didn't cover, but they almost covered. They won by 20 as a 20.5-point favorite. They also drubbed Chattanooga as a big favorite. They failed as a 30-point favorite against Alcorn in a 20-point win, but they clubbed USC by 16 at home as an 8.5-point favorite. And they beat Asheville. Want to say hello and welcome to Jeanette here today. She had a play here on Kentucky. It sounds like the Kentucky-Florida game over for Jeanette. Thank you, Jeanette, for your comment today. Appreciate having you here. All right. Couple more in college ball. There's a lot of games, make no mistake, and I've got premium plays lined up for sure. Wish we could get a little more product to you on some of these. I deal in high volume. I'm going to give out high volume on the premiums, but uh, let's give out some more winners here on the show. Iowa State and Oklahoma. Nice game here. Certainly in the Big 12 today. All right. Let me see if I have my number in this one. All right. This is game number. Hello, Earth to Ramon. I'll get it, you guys. Game. Oh, it's at 5 Eastern, 3 Pacific. I knew there was a reason I play. Tried to pick a game like where, hey, the early games at halftime. If it's not a great game, it should be. But then we get a little college basketball start in between. That was my off the wall oddball thought process here. 3 and 141.5. All right, we finally got it. 3 141.5 here between these two teams. And for me, I'm going to be on the over here in this one. All right. Maybe I could even talk about this game if I could get the. There we go. All right. Yeah. Give me the over. Under here in this one. In fact, I better give out my full side and total since I've goofed around long enough. Couldn't even figure out where the game was and who I was on or anything. I'll just give out both the side and the total. It's Iowa State on the road here, getting 3 points, and I like under 142.5. Here, 142, we'll call it in this one. I do want one under. Got to give me one underdog here on the show today in this one. So give me Iowa State. They come in 11-2, obviously playing pretty well. Oklahoma's 12-1 right now. Certainly looking great. Their only loss so far is to North Carolina. They're coming off pretty easy wins over Monmouth and Central Arkansas. Iowa State just 1-2 against the spread on the road thus far. Oklahoma 8-5 against the spread overall, but even though Iowa State has a couple of spread losses on the road, they still are 9-4 against the spread, and they're riding a 6-game winning streak right now over somewhat easy competition, but they did beat the Hawkeyes, remember, last month, 90-65 in at Iowa State. So their losses were to Virginia Tech and Texas A&M. So high-profile games. They did lose to those two foes back in November. For Oklahoma right now, their loss to North Carolina was by 12 points as a 3-point dog in a neutral site game, of course, was at Charlotte in that one. All right. Anything on this one for you guys? Sorry about the delay there. And for you guys, anything in this one? Okay, here we go. R. Tom says Oklahoma. Blake is with me on Iowa State, but he goes over. And I'm obviously on the under in this one. Mike is on Oklahoma. And Thomas, yes, I am on the under myself, Tom. Sorry for the confusion there. I skipped like a big portion of the card because, look, I think that this football game, I don't want to overload you guys. I'm trying to give you plays that I'm, saying to bet on, and just want to be respectful. So I got one more game, and it's at night, and it's late. If you have any requests, I'll take them. I'll take them in the Discord as well. I'll fire away in the Discord on any game you want. I'll play any game, anytime for $9.99. Here's Oregon and Washington State. This one, gets underway in the second half of the late game probably, but nonetheless, you got Oregon 11-3 coming in here against the Cougars with a 10-4 mark currently. And this one opened about 1.5, certainly. And right now we're looking at a spread of Washington State 1 and 139.5. Close to what you see there on the screen. Oregon so far 9-5 against the number. Washington State just 3-6-1 against the number in their last 10 games. I like the under here for sure. That's going to be my play. Washington State right now 3-6-1 to the under in their last 10 games. They've gone over for the most part at home this season, but I think with Oregon coming in here, and I'm not sure actually on the side just yet. Maybe it is going to be kind of close. You figure last year here, the game was 68-65 last February, with Washington State garnering a 3-point victory as a 1.5-point favorite in an under, by the way, that was under 134.5. The game finished 133. The other meeting was they actually had a tournament meeting, I believe, late in the season in March, obviously, where Oregon won 75-70 as a 2.5-point favorite. The regular season meeting last year at Oregon was 74-60 in favor of the Ducks. So two of the last three meetings between these two teams gone under. I will go under in this one with Oregon and Washington State. I don't know about I'm not sure about the side. Might just dial it back a little bit. Just give me the under here in this one. Oregon's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games on the road. The Ducks have won 18 of the last 24 meetings between these two teams. Washington State's won 7 of their last 8 at home, and they've covered the spread in 4 of their last 5 games at home against Oregon. All right. And let's see here. I see a few more new names. Man, I'm really excited to have some new faces in the chat. And Zay wants me to do strange things on the screen. I don't want to do. I have the most crackliest tongue, so I don't want to show that. No one has more cracks in their tongue. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if this is by chance or by, and never seen Crumb before, but appropriately, I mean, Crumb commenting on Pitt versus Louisville, likes Pitt first half, Louisville banged up, and that comes from Crumb, which of course Louisville had legendary head coach Denny Crum, so maybe Crumb is a Crumb. Appreciate you, Crumb. R. Tom says, what about Texas and Texas Tech? I'll tell you what, R. Tomps, if I can find the game quickly, couldn't even find a game that I had programmed in, right? If I can find the game quickly and get the play out to you with my numbers here, I just saw it and I passed it up. I'm not ever going to say, hey, if you got a rotation number, it would help. I'll just either find it or we'll just move on and say, you know what, I couldn't. There it is. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, 783 and 784 in this one. And wow, for me, I'm going to give out side and total on the request line here. So let me make sure I get it right. Make sure on my pick sheet and then look at my numbers here. All right. For me, it's going to be the Texas Longhorn. Oh, it's no. I'm just going to go with the under. The line is a little bit too high now, I do believe, right? 783, 784. Current line is Texas 6.5, and the total is 140. Just going to give the total out here. I'll go under. Here, we've definitely seen a move to the under from as high as 142.5. I'm going to trust this steam here I already did have it penciled in for an under. Um, Texas will, man, I almost like Texas. No, let's just give it the under here. All right, gamble. We're going to hockey here. Mike has a play here. Looks like Washington State. Johnny Walker. We're never going to get to that level, but we do want to try a little bit of women's soccer whenever we can. Nunya, hello as well. Mike, we'll worry about the rotation numbers. We don't want there, in the because of the apps today. I don't think people use rotation. They were already getting away from it. I mean, rotation number right was because of the book, but you still get that snobby uh, clerk at the sports book, right? What's the rotation number? Some of them, they can figure it out. Lewis Gibson looks like he's wondering about a couple of games here with Marquette, Mississippi State. Mississippi State. If I see them, I'm going to keep moving though here. Just maybe those are Gibson Lewis. I want to say it right because we got to get moving on this big hockey card. Okay. All right. Don't forget, we're in a sports betting chat here. Erica, James Madison, lock it in. So appreciate you keep your comments kind of aimed in that direction. Leafs puck line here for Erica. Let's get going with the hockey. Because there's an early game, an early start here today at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 Pacific, with the Calgary Flames going up against the Philadelphia Flyers in daytime action from Philly. I'll fire up the goalie computer here as well, see if anybody's been confirmed. We probably should get close on this one, I would think. Calgary and Philly. Philly's covered 18 of their last 25 puck lines. Calgary's covered 6 of their last 7 puck lines on the road. Calgary's done pretty well here. They've won 4 of the last 5 trips into Philly over the last few years. Philadelphia just 2-7 against the Flames overall. So it's been kind of a good series for Calgary, quite frankly, against the Flyers. Who knew? But maybe the odds makers knew. I mean, obviously, we're dealing with a line that's pretty close here, actually. But I'm not sure I'm going to get involved with the side here in this one. The Flyers may be playing just a little bit okay enough to beat mediocre Calgary at home. For me, I'm going to go under for sure in this one. It looks like maybe it's going to be Markstrom and Hart, but look, Philly has a 19-13-6 record so far. 19-13-4, I think, and Calgary 17-16-1. So side might be a little bit tough for me here. Calgary comes in on a 3-game winning streak, so you do like that aspect of it as well. Here, maybe I don't like to give the leans. I'd rather just give plays here. But Philly's lost 4 straight. You do have 2 teams going in opposite directions here, certainly right now. And let's see here. Mike says on the Flyers, however. And Eric, I did just give out the NBA. Any overs did I have? No, I did not. In fact, I went under on each of the first 3 games, even with the Pacers, even with the Jazz game. I went under in all 3 of the first 3 games, and I went with the Rockets in the last one. Sorry about that if you missed it. All right. Samuel does like the under here, maybe in this one. These 2 teams have been real solid to the under of late, haven't they? Samuel, both of them, I think, have gone under in 8 of their last 10 games. Philly's been an under most of the season. Right now, they're 5-4. Yeah, they're kind of mediocre as a favorite. I think they're kind of up and But yeah, I'm gonna go under in this one. These two teams have gone over in 3 straight, but thanks, Nunya. Awesome. Thank you for your basketball there and stopping by. Check it out in the chat, everybody. All right, I'm going to go under. Here is my play with Calgary and Philly. Yeah, interesting, Salt. You know what? I think that is the case. All right, here's the Panthers and the Avalanche. A really hot contest today. I mean, this is the game of the day, I would think, right here with Florida coming in as playing as well as any team right now. No doubt about it. One of the hottest teams in the league right now with Florida on a winning streak here, and they just beat Vegas impressively. They've won each of their last 3 games by an exact 4-1 score. Colorado comes in on a 4-game winning streak as well. Wins over Dallas, the Islanders, San Jose, and St. Louis. Real hot run here right now for them as well. Colorado's won 5 straight games at home currently, 6 of their last 7 overall. Their only loss was to Arizona on the road back on December 27th. Florida has gone under in 5 straight games on the road. They're 6-15 to the under so far this season. Right, look at this game, and Florida is, like I said, they're scoring goals, no doubt about it. But what type of game are you expecting here when Florida and Colorado meet? I think the talking heads will be talking about expect a high scoring game, and I'm not sure that I do. And I think that the Sharps are in agreement with me for the most part. Look, the total is 6.5 under 22 at Bovada, 6.5 under 15 at DraftKings. But there's also some 6 over 20s. So if we're going to be expecting such a high scoring game, like most people will want to make you believe, why isn't the total of 6.5 juiced on a Saturday? To me, I think we've got 2 really good teams here, is what it feels like. I think the Sharps are the ones keeping this one down in the public. I think the Squares are going to look to go over. Unfortunately, I kind of feel like the total is low enough for me to go over. If I can make that argument, I don't want to bore you guys here with the line movement, but our Tom says go under. Fernando says under and the Avalanche. Yeah. Erica said, I think over in the Stars game coming up. Okay. So, anyways, I also do like Colorado, I think, in this game. This is going to be right when the early football game starts in. So I'm going to go Colorado and over. If it's square, fine. I want to go side and total on the show here. I'm putting my reputation on the line. Gurdjieff will let him in. He likes Florida. I don't see a confirmed goalie yet in this game just yet. Mike likes the Panthers. This is a great game of the day. And just looking at the way the line keeps fluctuating, every time they hit a back up to 6.5, it seems like they keep pounding it back down. So it feels like the Sharps want to continue to pressure, and I think I can get out there and get a 6 over 20 and take the over. That's probably what I'll end up doing for the total. But I'll leave it at 6.5 here, under 15 on screen. Because, like I said, if this is going to be the high-scoring game that everyone is going to tell us, I think that's what they're saying. From what I've seen some videos so far, and I've read some articles, and it seems like that is what the storyline is here: goals. And I'm not sure that I'm in disagreement with that. but the sharps are saying, to me, the sharps are on the under. Okay, let's move on. Nobody cares what I think about the sharps. I love them though. Going to go with Vancouver and the Devils here with Demko in goal and Vanasek. Okay, just want to see if we can pencil any of these other goalies in, but doesn't look like we can yet at this point. So let's just get into it with another good matchup here. Certainly don't want to hype up that last game. This one definitely deserves some respect with Red Hot Colorado coming in here. Yeah, they did lose to St. Louis, but man, did St. Louis look really good in that game 2 nights ago. Really sharp defensively to stymie Vancouver here. Vancouver's actually lost 3 of their last 5 games, come back down to earth here a little bit. And for the Devils, they've won 2 in a row right now, looked pretty good, beating Chicago, obviously, last night. Were able to pull away for the 4-2 victory. They also beat up on Washington. So wins over some bad teams of late, no doubt. They also hammered Ottawa. They beat Columbus, didn't get the buck line in that one. And in between that, they got hammered by Boston. So maybe New Jersey beating up on some bad teams and losing to good teams here of late. Is that maybe what it feels like? And that total's pretty high, but you got New Jersey. They're 12-7 to the over at home. Vancouver 12-5-2 to the over on the road. So I would think it would be 7 goals or more in this one. Not sure necessarily about the side. Here's Mike on the Canucks. Yeah, well, Mike, that's because you're writing them. Mike. By the way, Mike is an AI. Mike is AI. He's not even real. Mike is real. He is just blessed with true artificial intelligence. How's that, brother? But yeah, a lot of those articles you could tell right away, right? I don't want to read those. I want articles that have a little context to them. Hey, you know what the AI articles don't tell you a lot of times? What the standings are, where the team is in the stand. Right? I mean, it really just goes on the game information a lot of times. I don't read those. All right. You guys with a couple of comments in here on this one. And Gamble loves the total. Gamble loves the total. Is coming in with it. He's teasing us in the chat. Well, Fernando's got the draw, the hottest bet in hockey right now. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's getting on these draws. I can't necessarily do it, but it is the hottest bet in hockey right now. People playing these regulation draws at this point. All right, Gamble, I need it right now, or we're gonna move on. I'm gonna give out my play. Mike's making me laugh here today. I'm on the over here. Did we get it? Okay. No, is that it? Is that really it? 3-3 into the first. You'd have to call the sports book and ask for that, wouldn't you? What is that paying? What does that pay out? 15-1, 20-1. Is that really, or is it a 3-3 end of the first period? I mean, it could. I'm not laughing really. I mean, I know you're serious, but what is the payout on that? 20-1. Yeah, I think what it is. I think it's one where you know how you have to call in and like they will have some end of the first period bets, right? Yeah, maybe they do have 3-3 actually. Now I think about it, depends which book you're there. Okay, let's keep going. Lightning and Bruins. Well, good card today here. Good games, certainly here. Now the Lightning aren't necessarily the Lightning we're used to, and the Bruins, well, they've been giving some back, certainly of late. But Bruins are going to be a pretty big favorite here in this one, and probably pretty good goaltending matchup here. All right. Let's see here in this one with Tampa Bay coming in off of the win over the Wild, 4-1 last time out, but they've lost three of their last five games currently. For Boston coming in, they had their win streak snapped by Pittsburgh in that Wild game. Talk about 3-3 at the end of the first period. What was the score of that one at the end? I don't think it was 3-3, but it was 3-2, wasn't it? Or what was it? There was a ton of early goals in that one, and finally Pittsburgh got the win 6-5. Tampa Bay has covered the puck line in 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams in Boston. Boston's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games at home. They've gone over in 7 of their last 10 overall. Tampa Bay's gone 9-12 to the under on the road. 5 straight games between these two teams in Boston have gone under. Can I confuse you anymore? Here's Art Thompson with the Boston money line. All right. Talking about all those trends under, but the goals were, flying in last time. So I'm going to go with the over here in this one. Look, it's 6/20. I think it's down. It's now. Yeah, no, it's 6/20, 6/25 at most places right now. I think that's pretty good. I'm willing to take over in that one. Over the 6. I know where I think again, here's another one where I'm kind of going against the storyline. I think when you got Vasilevsky in there, and even Olmark, I think, probably expecting a 3-2 game. I might be contrarian here. Oh, tickets are running heavy to the over. All right, call me square then. Well, the money's running a little bit to the under. Good reverse line movement here then for me that they're able to keep it down at 6 over. Yeah, give me the over. It almost feels like a premium, but if I didn't have so much respect for the goaltending here, with both goaltenders, kind of in the 2.75, 2.8 range this season, and both 90, 91%. Probably expecting good goaltending, but I'll take the over here in this one. Yeah, last meeting was 5-4. The only meeting so far this season, 5-4, back in November at Tampa Bay. Before that, the series had been, going under, no doubt about it. Mike on the under here. System play. All right. The Rangers will be at the Canadiens tonight. The Rangers are about a 215, 220 favorite here, and the total is 6/20. But I think we're maybe seeing this one move a little bit lower here. 6/14 at Bovada right now, 6/17 at Bet Online currently. So maybe this one is coming down a little bit with Igor in goal for the Rangers, Sam in goal for the Canadiens. And I don't know. I feel like maybe there will be some good goal. Maybe the goaltending will be in this game. That's kind of the way I want to go. I want to look at the under in this one with Montreal and the Rangers tonight. Now, Montreal has been giving up some goals, no doubt about it, but I'm going to trust Sam here to have a good game against the Rangers, going up against Shesterkin. The Rangers have won the last 5 trips here into Montreal. Montreal's covered 4 of the last 5 puck lines between the two teams. The teams have not met yet so far this season. The Rangers 13-5 record on the road. Montreal 13-22 as an underdog. More so importantly against the puck line here, I would think. You have the Rangers 12-7 on the puck line on the road. Now, they have been an underdog in a few, certainly. Um, let's see, they're 11-17 as a puck line favorite. Montreal 23-12 as a puck line dog. Yeah, let me just stick with the total here and go under in this one. This is a spot where I usually would try to find a way to get on the Canadians. They do cover the puck line here, as I said, in this series. So maybe you could be expecting another one-goal game. Four out of the last five meetings between the two have been a one-goal game, but just have concerns right now with Montreal. They beat Dallas. That was cool, but they came back, got blown out by Buffalo. They lost to some good teams of late. Tampa Bay, Florida, Carolina, all by multiple. Well, the Tampa Bay game was by one goal. They covered the puck line in that one, but I'm gonna try the under here. The Rangers get a win in a low scoring game. Want to say hello to Matt today, and yeah, Salty, I'm not sure actually, but Sam is confirmed for sure, right? And I've got two sites showing Igor at this point, but I'm yet to see a confirmation here. And Fernando Rangers puck line. All right, I'm taking the under. And Mike says over for him. And he's going over too. Matt's on the Rangers here on the puck line. Thanks, Matt. Minnesota Wild, Columbus Blue Jackets, Minnesota on the road here. One game below 500 now at this point for the Wild. Things kind of spiraling here a little bit of late for Minnesota. Maybe it has to do with some of the injury concerns that they've had with their star here of late. So probably not a real good spot for them here against Columbus. Columbus just 13 wins on the season, but they might give up some goals here, even though we've seen Minnesota not able to score. Maybe against Columbus and Elvis, they can get a few, but I'm going to end up on Columbus here on the money line. Columbus, they could still win a few here and there. They're 4-3-3, I think, last 10 games right now. So look, Minnesota's a pretty good favorite, 10-3 overall, but just 6-10 straight up on the road. And I'm going to end up on Columbus tonight. Minnesota maybe having some issues right now. They've lost four straight, to decent teams. They lost to Winnipeg, playing back-to-back games, one in each city, and then they lost at home against Calgary, lost at home against Tampa Bay. Columbus coming off a win on the road, remember, against Philly. And man, they've been playing very, very competitively. They lost to Boston 4-1, but remember, we've been pouncing on their puck line. It's not going to be involved in a puck line here, despite an obvious strong record as a puck line underdog, but just going to be laying too much. I'll just take them on the money line. Try Columbus here tonight. Fernando's on the Blue Jackets. And Wine, hello. Our Thompson's on the under here in this one. Yeah, Salty, you said it. Wild definitely have probably the thickest injury list of the day coming into this one. And of course, led by Kaprizov in there. Has been out here for couple of days now, and looks like he's going to be out for quite a while. And several other names on the list. Obviously, going with Fleury here in this one. Gustafson is out as well. Lettieri is out. Spurgeon is out, and Foligno is questionable in this one. So Some injuries there. Injuries on Columbus too, but man, they really do play competitively. All right. The Sabres on the road here against the Pens. And the Penguins are favored in this one currently $1.75 or so. 6.5 over minus 130. Let's call it at this point. Yeah, of course, the Buffalo Sabres coming in here, 3 games under 500 at this point, 16 victories. Pittsburgh, 19 wins now and playing pretty decent again all of a sudden for all of our criticisms here. But Pittsburgh, they won just coming off that win, as I mentioned, against Boston. Let me see a little bit of Uh, Olmark will start in goal for Boston. That one just out, but we knew that, I think. We're banking on that. All right. Pittsburgh here, a good run. Yeah, they did lose to Washington at home, but before that, they beat the Islanders a couple of times. They beat St. Louis, so a pretty good run right now again for Pittsburgh all of a sudden. And for Buffalo, they come in off a win against Montreal, uh, but they had some losses to some good teams of late, including Boston and the Rangers. So for Buffalo, they've covered the puck line in 7 of the last 9 meetings when playing Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh has won 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams at home. This is already the fifth meeting of the season between these two teams. Pittsburgh won the first 3, including at Buffalo 7-4, but they've won at home here already 3-1 against this. Let me see here. Pittsburgh won 3-1 here at home on September 28th. Back on November 23rd, it was 4-0, and Pittsburgh won at Buffalo 7-4 on October the 6th. Now back on the 24th of November, Buffalo did get a win 3-2 at home. They were an underdog in that one to Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh has definitely done pretty well, winning 7 of the last 8 meetings here against Buffalo. 5 straight meetings here in Pittsburgh between these two teams have gone under. That really kind of is of note to me because that'd probably be the play that I'd be looking for here. I think you guys have Devin Levi here in goal. I'm showing maybe both guys showing up here at this point. So I'm not sure if it'll be Luukkonen or so. Would like to know, but I'm playing the spot under for sure in this one. Is Pittsburgh maybe priced a little bit too high to be comfortable for me? Yeah, maybe I could try to figure out if I can play the Sabres on that puck line. What is it, minus $1.60? That might be tolerable for someone that plays every game side in total like me, but I want to give out my underplay as my big one, as my strong play here on the show. I like the under with the Sabres and the Penguins today. The solid under, certainly right now, for both these two teams. Pittsburgh's gone under in 8 of their last 10, and Buffalo's gone under in 9 of their last 10 right now. So Buffalo also 10-15 to the under as an underdog this season. So I'm going to take the under in this one. Mike says under this one. Gamble says Pittsburgh has been scoring goals like crazy of late. Yeah, they got the 6 goals against Boston, as we mentioned. They scored 3 against Washington, 3 against the Islanders, 4 against the Blues, and 7 against the Islanders. Remember that 7-0 game. So, okay. Yeah, salty. Buffalo can't string any wins together, but the Pittsburgh money line is too high. So Pittsburgh on the puck line. I'd see. I kind of tend to go the other way because it just seems like, well, Pittsburgh, they've owned this series pretty much. At least Buffalo closed the gap. All right. Penguins team is that a Penguins team total over, Samuel? Let's move on here and take a look at the Maple Leafs taking on the Sharks. In this one, you got Maple Leafs, a $3 favorite, of course, on the road, probably with Jones in here up against Blackwood. Yeah, maybe that seems like the case today. So, what can you do here with the Maple Leafs laying this big price on the road here? Man, you think the Maple Leafs can put a big number up here on San Jose? I mean, it's just not working out for San Jose. Every time you turn around, they're giving away another uh, unit on the puck line here, it seems like. Right now, Sharks with just 9 wins overall this season, but it's just been a disaster. At least they were able to hang in there against Winnipeg. I think that's what we had. We had the Sharks against Winnipeg in that game 2 nights ago. Crazy me, wanting to go with San Jose after they continue to fail and fail and fail. I don't know though against the Leafs. Maybe the Leafs still probably too high. Probably going to make it too high of a price for me to do either of them, at least publicly here on the show, and feel comfortable giving it out. I'll probably end up just looking at the total to go over in this one at 6/20. I probably would be willing to go over 6.5 at even. Let's see what it is right now. Oh, look at that. 6/15. Here's even 6/12 at DraftKings. A lot of 6 flats here. I'll leave 6/20 up there so you feel comfortable. Look, Toronto goes under quite a bit. No doubt about it. But I would think here against the Sharks, they could probably have a little bit more offensive prowess. They've been going under quite a bit, but they're still 19-15 to the over this season. And despite going 2-7-1 to the under in their last 10 games, they are 15-11 to the over as a favorite. And San Jose, who's been mostly an under this season, they have gone over in 6 of their last 10. Now San Jose is 7-12 to the under at home, but first they've already met. No, of course they haven't met yet this season. This is Toronto's first trip out here, and the Sharks haven't made it back up there yet. So yeah, first meeting of the season between these two teams last year. The meeting here in San Jose was 4-3 in favor of the Sharks. Actually got the money in that one. I still would probably trust Toronto to end up with a win here. Just could be a 4-3. I don't know. Could San Jose really get 3 goals? I don't know if they can. Toronto has gone under in 5 of their last 6. I understand that. San Jose's gone under in 5 of their last 7 at home, but I think Toronto should score here. It feels like to me, San Jose has done well against Toronto. Mentioned them winning that game last year. They actually won 7 out of the last 9 meetings between these two. Maybe Toronto will give up an extra goal or so here in this one. Toronto has won 6 of the last 9 games overall against San Jose. A lot of those were the home games. They certainly won. The road games they kind of were losing. So Sharks have done well in this series. I'll take the over. Samuel says the games are tough today. The games are tough. Salty, thank you. Yes, maybe I can trust Blackwood to be giving him up through the wickets. Martin Jones is confirmed, by the way, one of the few goalies confirmed. He was announced really in as yesterday. Yesterday, it'll be a 7th straight start. He has won 3 straight here, and 6-3 of late with a 2.2 6-3 this season with a 2.2 goals against average.
Final.
And I believe they said this. Let me see here. This is a home and home, apparently. Okay. All right. Well, it's still going to be tough, to get there. We got to still get to 7 goals here in this one, and of course, the Sharks are the worst offensive team around. There's no doubt, I would guess, about that. All right, here's Leafs puck line for our Toms. Blake will take the over with me here. And maybe just Toronto team total over, and they get to 4 goals at minus $1.55. Thank you, Salty. And Samuel said the same thing. Of course, I give out only sides and totals pretty much on the show. Don't have team totals available on the Tony'sPicks.com site. I like to give out what we offer there as far as the big sides and totals, standard fare, if you will. Okay, Blues and Hurricanes tonight in this one. The Blues are on the road here as a pretty big dog. Like I said, hey, that was an impressive performance, I thought, the other night. St. Louis comes in having covered the puck line in 5 of their last 6 games. Carolina, red hot. We obviously had people talking about them a little bit already with this winning streak of 5 games currently. They've also gone over in 6 of their last 7 games at home. They've been covering puck lines as well. They cover the puck line against Washington. They cover the puck line against Montreal. They cover the puck line against Nashville. I'm talking about when they were a puck line favorite. They didn't cover the puck line against Toronto, but of course they won against the Rangers. Remember that big 6-1 victory a couple of days ago on the road as Carolina continues to roll right now. St. Louis has gone under in 5 of their last 6. St. Louis coming off that win over Vancouver 2-1. They did lose to Pittsburgh and Colorado before that, but had wins against Dallas and Chicago. So, all right. Now, this one, not necessarily going to be my favorite game, it feels like to me. Again, oops. Okay, there we go. Lost my graphic there for a second. You guys still saw it? Here's Matt D. Says Carolina in regulation as his play here. All right. I'm going to end up on the over in this one as well with the Blues and Carolina today. These two teams have had some overs of late. This is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. The Blues have been going under. There's no doubt about it. They just had that 2-1 game recently, but Carolina 9-7 to the over at home. And got one piece of information here. It will be Tristan Jarry in goal for the Penguins today. That one just came out. Goalie announcement here. This one definitely hanging out, though, at 6.5 over. And it just feels like the perception is that Carolina is still going to kind of score here with the way they've been putting goals up there right now. The 6 goals against Washington, the 6-goal performance against the Rangers, 5 goals against Montreal, 5 goals against Nashville. So in the last 35 goals, I believe 30 goals in the last 5 games, averaging 6 goals per game, right? Let me see. What do they have? 6, 25. Okay, 5 goals, averaging 5 goals a game exactly. Oh, even I can figure that out. Okay, I'll take the over here. Carolina at home against St. Louis, over 6.5. All right, we got to finish up this show. Let's go. We got just a couple of games left here on the card. Appreciate you all for joining me, and then we'll get on with the sports betting day. Predators and Stars in this one. You have the Stars, another good game here, certainly. Stars with 22 wins this season, Predators with 21 wins. Yeah, the Stars have been a good team in overtime and in the shootouts, certainly this year. And Predators don't go to as many, really, and they've lost a few as well. But Nashville coming off the 6-3 loss to Calgary last time out to snap their 2-game winning streak. Dallas has lost 2 in a row to Colorado and Montreal. Before that, they had swept a couple of games at home against the Blackhawks. These two teams have met already once this season. It was at Nashville, and the Stars won 3-2 as a favorite in that game. The Stars are 15-4 to the over, 16-4 to the over at home this season, while Nashville is 11-6 to the over on the road. They're also 14-9 to the over as an underdog. The total has gone over in 5 of the last 6 meetings here in Dallas between these two teams, and Dallas has gone over in 5 straight games at home. Dallas has won 5 straight meetings now between these two teams, in addition to that matchup already this season. Nashville, however, on a pretty good run on the road. They've won 4 of their last 5. The only loss was a 5-4 loss at Detroit. All right, see if you guys have anything here with now. Am I going with too many totals, you guys? Because I'm about to maybe pull the trigger on another total here. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Over, R. Thompson, give me the Stars on the over. Give me the over here, R. Thompson. All right. This one I'm not too fond of, actually, here. Whoa, I get Mike says the Stars. Okay, I get it. Blake here says Predators. I'm looking to you guys here maybe to put me on the right play. Here's Matt D. Dallas and over. So right now you guys are on Dallas and the over, for more so over, pretty much. All right. If you guys are doing it, I'll do it, I guess. I'll go with the chat for once. 6.5. That's my least confident. I'm more confident now. Oh, Mike says under. Over seems too easy. Okay, you got me. All right. Yeah, maybe that's my least favorite game. Let's move on to the Islanders in Vegas tonight. Vegas at home, $1.50 favorite here, and the total 6 flat. Maybe it's starting to juice a little bit, maybe a little bit of a move to the over here. Vegas comes in still with 22 wins on the season. The Islanders, man, they just continue to play tough, play gritty, and find a way. 18 wins, 10. They played, more overtime, I believe, than anybody. It seems like they're 18-10 or 18-10-7 overall right now. Wow. So they continue to get it done, but Vegas still 13-4 at home this season. Islanders are respectable, 8-6 on the road, but it's on the puck line, of course, where they do so well. 13-5 on the road, on the puck line on the road. Also 16-4 on the puck line as an underdog. Vegas 10-19 as a puck line favorite. Still, because of how well the Islanders are playing, they're still nearly minus $2 on that puck line today. So maybe not much of a chance to grab them here. I don't know what you guys might consider in this one, but Vegas has won 16 of their last 22 games at home. The Islanders have done very, very well, competitively at least, when playing Vegas. They've covered five straight puck lines against Vegas. They've won the last two meetings, including the one here last year, 5-2. The Islanders won last, well, December of 22, last season, if you will. This is the first meeting of the teams so far this season, but interesting to note the Islanders have had some success against them, and the Islanders right now so hot. I talked about that 13-5 record on the puck line on the road. They're also 11-2 in the last 13 on the road on the puck line, but still gonna have to lay $2. It's all reflected in the line. Certainly, Vegas has gone under in 4 of their last 5, 7 of their last 10, and 12 of 19 home games overall. But the Islanders on the road have gone over in 12 of 18 road games. And they're also 15-5 to the over as an underdog. So here with the Islanders and Vegas tonight. What to do? What are you guys up to? Let's take a look. Here we go again. Maybe these are ones where I should be taking the draw here. If anything, a vote for the draw in this game, in my mind, or just trying to is a vote on the Islanders. Right, they're the underdog. If you were to take them, as an underdog, you'd be getting the price of an underdog. So yeah, maybe I could actually get behind that actually. So all right, I think let's see. The total here is now at 6 over for the most part, 6 over 15 or so. So all right, man, the Islanders are live here. It feels like in this one. Could I just take them here as an underdog to come in here and play tough tonight? It feels like there is some dysfunction with Vegas. I don't want that to be the case, but man, they've failed so many in a row right now, and they've lost games here at home to Florida. Yeah, they beat the Kings at home, but they also lost at Anaheim, at Seattle, at Florida. No problem there. But they don't call them the Thailanders for nothing, Salty said. The most competitive team around, right? All right. Well, I don't want to lay $2. I'll just take the Islanders here on the money line to get it done. I agree with that. I think I think Islanders are just going to be competitive here. They've been competitive. They're the team competing right now. The momentum team kind of coming into this. Sorokin is likely as the goalie here. 3.1 goals against, and Thompson in there. Look, Sorokin's even got the better record. He's the guy in there that keeps you competitive, right? He's always the one that's in there in those draws. All right, I'll take the Islanders. Here's the Senators and the Oilers to wrap it up on the card today. The Oil certainly here hot, having won 5 straight games right now, covering the puck line in each and every one of them. Ottawa's gone over in 5 of their last 7 games on the road, and 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams in Edmonton have gone over. This is a big total, but they often are when you're talking about the Oilers right now. After all, the Oilers 10-6-1 to the over at home. Ottawa 8-6 to the over on the road. Ottawa's thrown in a couple of unders though of late. They're 3-5-1 to the under in their last 9 games currently. And for these two, let's see. Talked about that the series between the two pretty much having been a series that goes over here in Edmonton. Edmonton won the meeting here last year 6-3. They also won the meeting in Ottawa 6-3. So Edmonton won both games by a 6-3 count. Yeah, even I might have to go over 7 goals in this one. See if you guys got anything. We'll wrap the show up. Thanks a lot for joining me today for a lovely time. Sharps are apparently on Ottawa in the over. It seems seems like they're obviously on Ottawa in the over. Could we do that as well? Could we actually grab a puck line here with Ottawa even? I don't know. Could I play both? Ottawa here 6-8 against the puck line on the road this season. Edmonton 7-10 puck line at home. So mixed bag here. Feels like I'll go ahead and take Ottawa on the puck line. Give me Ottawa to hang in here in this one. Total, big is expected. These two teams, 39, 26, and 2 to the over this season. Just caution though, Ottawa 10, 7-1 to the over is a favorite. Still favors the over, but like I said, last few games, Ottawa has definitely turned in some unders. They went under against Seattle in a 4-1 loss. They went under against Buffalo in a 5-1 win. They went under against Toronto in a 4-2 win, but that wasn't Edmonton, was it now? All right. Anything on this game for you guys? Ray's going to go under. I've got Ottawa on the puck line. Thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate you. Hey, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. I've got a 5-pack. I got a 7-pack right here of sports betting plays. 5 in college basketball and 2 in the NFL for today. The 5 college basketball games kind of roll you into the NFL, the 2 plays. So I have a $30 pack up there, and if it doesn't get a winning day, you get $30 back to your account. This is how you get a handicapper. You might be busy, you might not know what you like in some of these college basketball games. I guarantee you this: these 5 college basketball games are not on the added board. They're not. They are major conference games. They're in the group of 5 or 6 or whatever you want to call them. They're major conference games in my early pack here today. So thank you to Blake. Thank you to Thomas. Thank you to Mott. Thank you to everybody today here for joining me on the show. We'll be back tomorrow, of course. You're on the show with more with NFL all day. NFL pretty much. Mike, Ray, Salty, R. Toms. Blake was here today. Matt D was here today as well. Want to thank some new members. Sprinkles was here. Fernando's not a new member. Erica was here today. Nunya stopped by as well today. Johnny Walker always pouring with us. Blake was here. Crumb was coming in from Louisville. Gamble was here. Perky was here. Zay was here trying to make me do crazy things. Who else was joining us? Jeanette was here. Chad was here. Of course, for our NBA, Richie Vegas, Gamble here today. Thank you to all of the chat. Appreciate you guys. You guys are the real stars. How about Fume, who stopped by today as well? Nice to have Dre as always. Don't forget about Jacoby Fluelling. Thomas Bird was here early joining us as well. Biggie was here today. Thank you so much, one and all. Gerardo got us our soccer plays going. That's going to do it. Thomas Bird. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you all here on the Mornings Team. We'll catch you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. More free sports picks here on the network of 40,000 subscriber juggernaut Tony's Picks YouTube channel. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott.
cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning steam is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Don't let a real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain.